So I was playing with my balls earlier today. Got you there. Welcome to yet another Killbot and Gorgor Attack live stream. We started off rather gross because that's par for the course at this point, isn't it? Anyway, let me go ahead and get the laptop situated. There we go. That's what I sound like. Let me see if I can mute this. Okay, look at my hair. It looks pretty nice, and for some reason, more shows up. Over there, Holly Dam. Hey man, how are you? Doing pretty good. Yeah, it always gives me a warning. Moderation helps keep everybody safe. Yeah. Well, I usually moderate myself because why pay somebody at this point? Maybe later. Okay, let's say hello to some people. A-Man98. Hey, you're always showing up for these things. Thank you so much. We're doing it at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the moment. Figured it's a nice change between 5 and 6 and 7. I think I did a midnight stream a few months ago, and I can't remember. But anyway, we should have a reasonably similar crowd this time, but we shall see. Metalhead Chick, hey. Metal Manic, hi. Pop-Up Productions, hens are just fat chickens. Yeah, in a way. I guess you could say the same thing about roosters, I suppose. Cosmic Paul Bear, hey man, hey, how you doing? Foxifer, how's the customized axe? Well, funny you should mention, we will be discussing it in a few minutes. You might notice that it's part of the thumbnail for this stream. A friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete. You know what, let me just bring the laptop over here so I'm not looking over to the side so often. New subscriber, I'm 46-year-old metalhead, seeing Amon Amarth and Gatecreeper in September. First show in 20 years. I'm a veteran and going shows was difficult before I retired. Well, thank you for your service. Any particular reason you stopped going to the shows? Such a big part of my life, I can't imagine it not being at this point. I go to so many and I travel to so many. And by the way, speaking of which, if you guys haven't seen my latest video traveling for shows, you should go see it. Had one smart-ass motherfucker go, oh, well, if you want to go, just buy a ticket. It's not that hard. Dude, I'm giving you tips to help you save money. See, this is a conversation that a friend and I had on the phone the other day. These people, they want to return because they were initially interested in you at first, and then they became interested just to mock you and ridicule you, and they don't become fans, they become anti-fans. When there are so many better things they could be doing with their lives. You know, I think it's a thing of force of habit because everybody now is just pre-programmed to criticize no matter what. That's why we have stale everything and safe everything. My hair looks pretty good in this. Okay, so, such loud gulps. Well, it's delicious. Water is delicious. Martine Lasorva! Martine, hey, I'm gonna kick you in the balls the next time I see you. You know, we should chill. You know, we should chill sometime outside of a show. A-Man 1998. I would love to travel more, but while money is tight, transportation is something I don't have easy access to. I mean, if you want something bad enough, you'll find a way to do it. Dark Soul Warrior 96. Hey, Killbot, what's your real name? Tony. My name is Tony. My name is Mud. I got some Primus in the mail today, so Primus is on the mind. Got that CD and DVD set. Animals Should Not Act Like People. It's got all the music videos up to that point. Woo! Yeah. Anyway, so traveling for shows. I mentioned in the video that I'm going to be going to Portland in September because Agalloch is doing their reunion show for the United States. They said it would never happen. They had a pretty messy breakup in 2016. They haven't done a show in the United States since 2015. And I was told on a podcast interview that I did some time ago that Agalloch got back together and that they're going to be doing a reunion show over at some festival in Germany. So, a lot of people are pretty excited for this, and a lot of people didn't know that they were going to do a Portland show, so a lot of people booked plane tickets and bought festival tickets to go see Agalloch. They're gonna go to Germany, the land of chocolate. Yeah. Land of chocolate. Some of you will get that reference. But yeah, as awesome as Germany would be, Portland seems like a much more reasonable fare. I'm gonna be tired as fuck that weekend. I've never been to Portland before. Always wanted to go. And, I told a story in one of the concert story videos where I was just sitting out in the drizzling rain outside the Winter Sun tour bus while listening to one of them talk among a few of us about the different places he's lived. And he was talking to another band member saying that, they're going to stop in Portland on the tour and that they want to spend the day in Portland because Portland is basically Amsterdam for America. And, I'm really looking forward to it. But I'm going to be tired as fuck because both of my flights, I'm going to be there for 3 days. I fly in Friday. The show is Saturday night. I leave the morning after the show. Assuming that I get any sleep, because I'm probably going to have such a high from seeing the show that I'm probably not going to get a wink of sleep. And I sleep like shit on planes anyway. I have a lot of trouble with it. So that flight leaves at 5:45. So does the flight to Portland. So I'm flying in from North Carolina, so take into account jet lag and just... Fuck. Whoa, I got a lot of Canadian dollars. Woohoo! Thank you so much from Kino. Thank you so much. Mesa des Morts, the black metal festival at Montreal, Quebec, has just announced that Agalloch is going to perform there this year in November, and it's the coolest metal announcement ever. Never participated in the festival before, but I goddamn will. Hey, a lot of cool festivals are going on lately. I've heard good things about this year's Milwaukee Metal Fest. There's a YouTube channel called Why It's Metal. He did a festival on Metal Days and the scams that were going on around that festival. So, yeah. It's a shame that in 2023 we're still dealing with scams like that. You know what I mean? Hey, but thank you so much for the super chat. It's going to go to a good cause. Because as we will discuss in a few minutes, I'm going to get my teeth worked on. I became a patient at UNC Dental School earlier this month, and they currently have me booked for 2 more appointments. One's going to be for a cleaning, and the other is going to be filling up my cavities. And at some point in the future, I want my wisdom teeth removed. They told me that it was going to be $130 for each tooth, so that is more than reasonable. But I don't know how many of you can see this, and this might get gross. This molar right here? I chipped it eating breakfast sometime last year, and it's just grown and grown and gotten worse. And that was the tooth that I was really worried about. I was wondering if it was going to be a root canal or if I was going to lose this tooth. But what they told me was it hasn't hit the nerve yet. So at this point, it's only going to be a cavity filling. It's not going to be a root canal. Thank fuck! Okay, let me read some of these comments because I'm going off on a tangent, then I can get back to my Portland discussion. Let's see. Dragon DC. Imagine having metal shows that are in driving distance to you. I went to one last night that was 40 minutes away. I went to see Nita Strauss. Look at this. Look at this shirt. It's colorful and cool looking, you know? It was an awesome show. I actually almost didn't go. I was on the fence about it because I was like, Nita Strauss, she's Alice Cooper's guitar player. I love Alice Cooper, but I need something a little harsh and heavy right now. Let me tell you something. I went to that show, and this is what made me go to the show. I looked at her YouTube page, and she uploaded a song recently that's off her upcoming album. She did a song with the singer from In Flames. And that fucking song was heavy and harsh. More than I thought it was going to be. Palm mutes, double bass, all that shit. I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to this. And she threw out a bunch of picks, and unfortunately I didn't get to catch one. She threw one right behind me. As I was getting ready to grab it, some other guy grabbed it before me. I was like, fuck! And then she had a bunch on the microphone stand that she didn't throw out. I was getting ready to grab them, and some lady grabbed them, handing them to everybody but me. Fuck you, lady! But what was really cool is that the band were nice enough to hang out by the merch booth after the show. I guess because there weren't really that many people in the grand scheme of things at the venue. And they were taking pictures and signing stuff. So yeah, look on my Facebook page and look at my Instagram page. I got a picture with Nita Strauss! Fucking badass. I love her. Love her so much. I saw her with Alice Cooper a few years ago, and everybody was just as fixated on her as they were with Alice. And so when she left last year, everybody was like, oh. Now, last time I saw Alice, which was around Halloween in Texas, he had Kane Roberts with him. Now, for those who don't know, that was his iconic guitar player from the 80s on albums like Raise Your Fist and Yell and Constrictor. And he's known for having a machine gun guitar. Awesome guitar player, and I'm glad that I got to see him, but you know, after seeing Nita, it was weird. It was different. I was like, you know, he's pretty awesome, but I kind of miss Nita. So, I guess Alice felt the same way, so I suppose he practically had to beg for her to come back. He was probably like, look, whatever Demi Lovato's paying you, I'll pay you just as much. Just come on. It's not the same without you. Okay. Cosmic Pallbearer. Man, I need to go see an Agalloch show. Well, dude, tickets are still available. Make the flights. You got until September to make the flights. And by the way, anybody who's going to Portland for this show and you see me, please come say hello. You know, I have no problem with people approaching me if they see me. Tony, have you ever ran into those people that just hate the image on your t-shirts? A few times. It was more of a parental thing than a public thing, because at this point, I'm 27 years old. They give me a dirty look, they're not going to like the look that I give them, because I can be a real bastard sometimes. I try not to be, but sometimes it's hard. Hatch, hey, how you doing? How you doing, man? Fucking Slayer. What to do if I'm a teen metalhead with no money to go to shows or CDs? I can't get a job because it's illegal in my country. Well, I mean, you do chores, you do odd jobs around the neighborhood, you scrimp and save. Hey, I know what it's like. When I was 11, 12, 13, any birthday money I got felt like hitting the lottery. You know, and it wasn't really that much in the grand scheme of things. Sometimes I'd only make like $200 for Christmas presents. And at this point, you know, it's still a lot of money at this point, but, you know, it's more manageable because I can get it easier. Hence the $69 super chat that just came from a few minutes ago. Metalhead Chick. A coworker invited me to some show tomorrow, but I can't go. Sucks because another friend invited me to one a week before, and I couldn't because of work. Oh, that stinks. Hate when that happens. Joe Hill. What's your thoughts on Maiden's Future Past tour going on right now? What's the significance? Because I haven't really been in the loop with Maiden that much. I did buy some Maiden CDs yesterday at McKay's. They had Dance of Death, Brave New World, and A Matter of Life and Death. So, picked those up. And among the other things that I picked up at McKay's, got a couple curious pieces. For one, some of you know how much I love My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult. This is their album, The Reincarnation of Luna. And what's cool about this, and the reason I picked this up, is it appears to be a radio copy. This appears to have belonged to a radio station, and it describes the music and the songs, and it crosses out two of them, I guess, because they were too explicit to play on the radio. And what's even cooler about this is they logged all the plays. I've never owned a CD like this where they've done that. Like, I've owned radio copies and radio promos. I've never owned one that went that far, so that was pretty cool. And among the other things that I picked up, and I can't figure out who autographed this. 9 Inch Nails Broken. There's this autograph right here. It was $4, so I picked it up just in case it was worth anything, but I have a guy, a friend of mine over in Northern Ireland. He collects 9 Inch Nails autographs, and he thinks it might be James Woolley, but he's not sure. I don't know, maybe somebody on the subreddit page or one of the Facebook fan pages can identify quickly who this is, but I don't know. It's amazing, really. Sometimes I'll go to McKay's, and sometimes people just forget that they have autographed items that they can sell that are valuable. And I find the stuff being traded in all the time. That was $4. That was cheap. Okay, let me read some more of these comments. You people have been wonderful for participating. So let me just keep doing this. Damon Cranell, how's it going, dude? I'm doing wonderful. How about you? Your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete. Another reason I stopped going to shows, my anxiety got the best of me over the past 20 years, so this is special to me, making myself go and have fun. I'm sorry that you have been crippled in that capacity. I can't imagine what that's like, as I'm a pretty extroverted, social butterfly type of person. But nothing that a bunch of years of therapy won't at least help. So, hopefully you can do something else. I don't know. Let's see, more comments, newer comments. Dragon DG, Tony, where are you from? I am in North Carolina. I sort of lived in Georgia for a couple of years, and in 2 days from now, it will be 1 year since I dumped her, and my life has done a complete 180 ever since then. I am a completely happy person, happier than I've been in years. And it's possible I may be entering another relationship. Hi! You know who you are. I'm excited. Foxfur, Marduk is coming to Ecuador. Oh, that's cool. Greg Kelly, what's good, everyone? That's good. Cosmic Ball Bear. Ball Bear. Hey, you should change your YouTube name to the Cosmic Ball Bearer. Since we're talking about balls so much. Oh, there was a book in McKay's yesterday, a comedy book called Grab Life by the Balls. Being the man with the childish sense of humor that I am, I almost picked it up based on that title. But hey. The vegan metalhead says, I won't ever have to have my wisdom teeth removed. Well, see, mine aren't impacted at all. They're fully erupted and they're straight, according to the x-rays. But I want to have my teeth straightened, and it would be a lot easier if the wisdom teeth were gone. But also, my wisdom teeth, it's like the crevices of them are beginning to decay. And once that happens, the higher the chance it is that that decay is going to spread to the rest of your teeth. I don't want that. A lot of people spend thousands of dollars on dental care. I don't want to be one of those people. And speaking of dentists, there's a Metalocalypse episode where Nathan goes to the dentist, and he's talking about how he hates going to the dentist. He doesn't want to go to the dentist because he says that dentists have the highest suicide rate out of any profession. And he's like, oh, I don't want anybody with no reason to live working that close to my face because maybe they'll mess up the tool and they'll mess up my brain. And I thought it was just some dumb joke that they made up for Metalocalypse, but upon further research, no, it's true. Apparently dentists do have the highest suicide rate. Because I guess the public stigma against dentists is so terrible, I guess. Because, I mean, think about it. There's a huge stigma against lawyers and attorneys, but lawyers make a lot of money. They don't give a shit if people hate them. They're laughing their way to the bank. Dentists, on the other hand, it's expensive to own their own practice. And then you have to argue with people who are like, oh, I don't want to go in 3 months. That's too expensive. I just spent $3,000 in this shithole. I mean, imagine how much that hurts their self-esteem. And these are regular people who are living in modest-sized homes, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, that was a weird crossover with real life and cartoons. Like, I thought that was just a dumb joke that Metalocalypse made up, but no. True. Totally true. An absolute Poindexter. Sup, Killbot? I just watched your CD collection video. Awesome. Thank you for watching that. That ended up being a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. And while we're talking about CDs, this is one of today's arrivals. The new Queens of the Stone Age album. Yeah! I love Queens of the Stone Age. They just announced a tour. They're coming to Red Hat Amphitheater over in Raleigh in August, and I already got the tickets. Always wanted to see them. I got Songs for the Deaf for Christmas one year when I was 11 years old, and that has been my go-to road trip album ever since then. It helps that it's a concept album about a road trip. But you know what kind of pisses me off about this? I bought this from Amazon, And look at how crinkled and crushed the back of the packaging is. I don't know if you can see that in the light. It's like right here. It pisses me off that that happens every time I order something from Amazon now. That's why I try not to order music off of Amazon, because chances are the cases are going to be cracked, and if they're digipacks, they're going to be messed up. I mean, if it were a jewel case, all I'd have to do is change out the jewel case. But once a digipack gets messed up, it's fucked forever. You know, it was like a few years ago, I got that Sisters of Suffocation album, Humans Are Broken. I bought it and got it the day after it came out, and that fucking thing already had a crack in the case. Because they don't pack their music worth a damn. They ship records in boxes that are way too damn big, so the records slide around, and then the CDs, the envelopes aren't padded enough. Like, what the fuck? Okay, so what other CDs do we have? We have some Agalloch, because upon discovering that they were reuniting, I also remembered that I don't have everything by Agalloch. So, got Faustian Echoes, or Faustian, however you're supposed to pronounce that. And we have the Gray and the White EPs, which I got straight off the website, which is German, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it. But this one was interesting because it's a slipcase, but this is the hardest slipcase ever to get the CD out of. I fidgeted with this damn thing for 10 minutes. I'm not even kidding. And I've had tight slipcases, but see how much effort I'm putting to even put it in there? Now imagine pulling it out, okay? Ugh. My goodness. That's tighter than feminist pussy. I mean, I don't get the point of slipcases most of the time anyway. I think they're a fucking waste of paper. You know, like, unless you're doing different artworks, like this did a different artwork, so I guess it's acceptable. And like, let's take Mechanical Animals, okay? You got the slipcase cover, and then you got a different artwork altogether, okay? That makes sense. But then you have albums that they have a slipcase, and the artwork underneath is the same. Like, what's the point of having a slipcase? What do you think, that I'm worried that the case is going to get scratched up? I don't fucking care. And we have another super chat, $5 super chat from your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete. Thank you so much. I got the VIP package for the Amon Amarth show. I can't let this anxiety get the best of me anymore. Going to go nuts and have a blast. As you should, because Amon Amarth is fucking awesome. I had a great time when I saw them. Arch Enemy did really good, and I'm not really an Arch Enemy fan, but to their credit, they put on an amazing live show. So, you have fun with that. Also, among the things that I got related to Agalloch, we got this guy right here, which I got from Hippo Records over in Greensboro. Have any of you seen the video that I did on Hippo Records? Well, this is the Agalloch and Nest split. There's one song by each of them. I haven't listened to this yet. And there are postcards. And let me see if I can take these out. So, this was limited to 1,000 copies. Really cool artwork, and I'm not even sure why I bought this. I don't even do anything with vinyl anymore, but I guess because it was there. I don't know. There's also the Compendium Archive. That is the 2-disc version of the Demonstration Archive. And that version was only sold at a festival in Italy. There were 250 copies made. There was one on Discogs that was signed by John, and I made an offer, and it should be here next week. I can't wait to have it. It's signed by John, but it's personalized to the guy who bought it. So maybe if I can get John to scratch his name out, maybe at the show just to authenticate it, maybe scratch his name out and then say, to Tony, John 23. You know, it'd be a funny story, you know? Yeah, I don't know. I just love rare stuff, you know? We'll talk about more rare stuff after I get to these comments. Benjamin Kovac. Tony, you ever heard of Crypta? Yes. Excellent stuff. Fernando Lira. My girl! Let's see. Get to these comments a little bit. Underscore. What's up, Killbot? Hanging, baby. The busy metalhead. What's your opinion on suffocation? I've seen them 3 times. And I saw them the 3rd time with Frank. And after that, I said, okay, I've seen them with Frank. Now I never need to see them ever again. Because Frank retired after that tour. And I was like, okay, so all the other singers are great. But, you know, there's a reason why Frank Mullen is as memorable as he is. You know, he gets a lot of praise. And he deserves it. Okay, let's see. NTRPK. I'm wearing a broken hoodie right now. Well, it's funny you mention. I'm not really a hoodie person, but I got this off their website. They were selling this at the Cleveland show, and for some reason I didn't buy it, but I really love it. It's comfy, it's light. I realize some people couldn't see the track listing on here. There's a track listing, and for those who have the CD, you probably know that tracks 98 and 99 are bonus tracks. And those are in black on the bottom of the hoodie. Oh, yeah. I like this hoodie. Makes me feel sexy. Peep Knox. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? An absolute Poindexter. The photo with Nita was sick. She was really nice, too. Super nice. Was personable with everybody. And I'll say this, too. The singer that she picked, like, it was a well-structured show. The first part of the show was just instrumentals that, you know, they showcased the guitar on. And the second half of the show, they had a singer with them. And apparently it's her first tour. She did excellent. Especially since it was her first tour. Because she had stage presence, she danced a bit, she headbanged. And, you know, she didn't appear to have any stage fright, really. You know, and her skills as a vocalist, she did screams, she did cleans, she did growls. Good versatile range. She's got a bright future ahead of her. I wish I could remember her name. I'm sure somebody in here will tell me in the comments. Megan Raquel, always happy to watch. Why, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm watching at work. Tell your boss to go get fucked. Nah, I'm just playing. Don't get fired. I'm just assuming the spirit of rock and roll, baby. Jack the Cool 08. Where did you get that bolt thrower poster? I've been looking for one. Well, when you buy that album on vinyl, usually it comes with a poster. But this particular poster was actually sent to me by Jo Bench herself. She sent this to me as a thank you for doing the bolt thrower video back in 2017. And that is probably the greatest gift I've ever gotten from doing YouTube. Or it's up there at least. I had this poster framed, and I'm actually thinking about switching it out with a better frame because these plastic ones from Walmart, they kind of suck. But this is in the background of all my videos, and I look at it as Jo Bench's blessing behind me. So there you go. There's another one over there. It's a European tour poster. That was from the Rock Hard magazine. Thomas Beebe. Gonna see Midnight in a couple of hours. I've seen them twice. The Vegan Metalhead just gave me a $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Going to try to go to a Vietnamese restaurant soon. I like Vietnamese food. It's mostly soup and noodles for the most part. Metal Manic. So I went to my CD, video game, vinyl bookstore and I found an original copy of Death, Scream, Bloody Gore. Well, that's good. I personally have the Century Media CDs of the Death albums because they have bonus tracks. And to be honest with you, I think they sound a little better. I mean, some people are going to swear by the originals because they're quieter, but honestly, there's a volume boost on the Century Media ones, but I don't mind the volume boost. It's not like they're compressed to death. Now, the Relapse ones are compressed to death. And speaking of the Relapse ones, we were talking a few minutes ago about how hard this slipcase was to get. See, I can't even get this out. Look, I'm pressing as hard as I can. I'm worrying about breaking the CD. How did they approve this? Now, Death's Individual Thought Patterns, the remastered version that came out on Relapse about 10 years ago, that was a hard slipcase to get off. This? Outset. God damn. Whoa! John, next time you repress it, please do something about that slipcase. It looks amazing, but man. Okay. Ricky Tan. Though thought that may have been why the price for your wisdom teeth are so cheap. Well, it's a dental school. So the thing about dental schools is The students will be working on small stuff like cleanings and cavities. Licensed people who have graduated but don't have their own practices yet, they're going to be doing the more serious stuff like root canals and crowns and implants. And basically you're not paying for the labor because the students need guinea pigs to work on. Obviously, because they don't want to fuck up when they own their own practices. They're still learning the ropes. So, because they're students, there is a higher chance of them messing up your teeth, but you have that chance of getting your teeth messed up when you go to a real dentist, too. You know what I mean? Okay, let me make sure this microphone's on. It is. Cool. I don't know, just thought occurred to me. It might be on the phone volume. But you know what? With the students working on your teeth, there's always somebody supervising when that happens. Because, you know, they want to make sure that they're not sending idiots out into the world. and they don't want somebody with no reason to live getting that close to your teeth. But hey, I look forward to it because my teeth are kind of messed up. I hadn't been to a dentist in 8 years. But my appointment was on the 9th. And that was a x-ray and evaluation. $81. You can't beat that. You can't beat that at all. And they take insurance. So there you go. Please, if you have issues with your teeth, sign up for a dental school. I signed up for it in February, and they called me out of the blue in May. And I'd signed up to so many of them that I forgot what it was I signed up for. I had to ask them. They said, oh yeah, you signed up in February and there were 1,500 people on the wait list in front of you. So we're just now getting to you. I was like, fuck. Amanda Sporkland. Killbot, are you a Blazin' Right fan by any chance? I've never heard of them. You're Kai. Are you going to see Danzig? I might take the trip to Boston. I'm not going to prioritize Danzig unless he comes to North Carolina. Because I've already traveled to see the Misfits, so I don't really want to see Danzig unless he's coming near me. Like, there are some bands that are worth traveling for. That band's not one of them. The Misfits, yes. Samhain, if they ever do another show, I will be traveling for. So. You know what Danzig needs to do? He just needs to do another one of those tours where he does songs from all 3 bands that he's been in. Dragon DG, how's it feel being one of the only metal YouTubers keeping metal alive? Well, there's some good metal channels. I mentioned Wyatt's Metal earlier. He's entertaining, does some good work. You know, there's Thrashed TV. Always a good time. Chris is a great guy. But hey, you know, this is what I love. This is what I like doing, you know. And sometimes people say, oh, well, you know, you're making metal, your personality, blah, blah, blah. Well, this is what I love. I love music. You know, like some people are big into sports, some people are big into movies, some people are into stamps and coins and golfing. And I'm a music guy, you know. And I love music on an emotional level and a historical level. You know, some people care about gear and technical shit like that. Some people care about fads. I don't give a shit about fads, okay? That's what pop music is for. But, you know, with music, I'm talking about on a historical level. Music history is like regular history. It's a series of cause and effect. And I may have discussed this in previous live streams, but cause and effect, think about it. Death metal was a reaction to thrash metal. Nu metal was a reaction to death metal after it got oversaturated. And then the thrash revival scene happened because nu metal, even the public started hating nu metal. So there you go. And here we are now, you know. In every genre of music you could think of, it's all about cause and effect. From hip-hop to jazz to blues. I mean, think about it. Bebop was a response to the big swing bands in the 1940s. So there you go. Okay, let's see. Going to read more comments. Greg Kelly, Hippo Records is awesome. Now, when I did that Hippo Records video, I sent it to the guy on Instagram. And he loved the video, and he loved my comment about them having a Mountain Dew in their little refrigerator behind the counter. And he said, dude, if you ever come to the store, Remind me who you are and I'll give you one. So when I was there yesterday, I showed him the message. I was like, hey, so I'm here to take you up on your offer. He was like, I don't remember who you are, but here, you can have one anyway. I'm like, okay, well, he was like, okay, here's what happened. My partner, Patrick, he's the guy who runs the Instagram page. My name is Pat, so you probably talked to Patrick. There's two of us. So you probably talked to the other guy. That's probably why I don't remember you. But he was a good dude. And he gave me a Mountain Dew. So at least I can say that I took them up on their offer. Hey, don't threaten me with Mountain Dew. I'll drink it. Let's see. Metalhead Chick. I'm in South Carolina. Maybe someday I'll take a long trip to Hippo Records. Take a long trip to McKay's. Well, and actually, there are two Hippo Records. There's one in Greensboro. There's one in Winston-Salem. There's also a McKay's in Winston-Salem, but generally the CD collection isn't that big. They're bigger for movies and books. The McKay's in Greensboro has a bigger CD collection, but I have a feeling that they're trying to shrink it down. I don't know. It's like the CD section isn't as big as it used to be. Not sure why. People buy the shit out of them. Loisa Smith. Hi, Killbot. Heard you recently went to a Skinny Puppy concert in New York. I live there. You are so cute. Hope to see you at a concert sometime, cutie. I mean, I've been announcing it before I even went. I mean, you had your chance. There was another person I was trying to meet up with in New York, and they were like, oh, but I'm broke. I'm going to like 3 shows this month. I'm like, yeah, but it's Skinny Puppy on their supposed final tour. And I'm going to be there. You know, we've been chatting on Instagram here and there for all this time. Come say hello, if nothing else. If you can't afford to go to the show, just come say hello. Oh, well, blah, blah, blah. And now they're saying, man, I'm kicking myself for not going to that. It's like, yeah, I'll bet you are. That's why I tell people. It's like, you know, if you see me out in public or if you hear that I'm going to be at some show, fucking come say hi. You know? Amanda Sporkland, I've got to go now. Well, thank you for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. Dragon DV. J-Hoff was one of my favorite metal channels till they broke up. Now it's you and Black Metal Werewolf. Down with this sort of thing was a good channel too. I hadn't heard from McLean in years. Hope he's doing good. Some dumbass started a rumor many years ago that, you know, he was buying subscribers or something, and somehow somebody said, oh yeah, Killbot was the one who said that he had proof that he was buying subscribers. I fucking hate that rumor. I never said that, and the guy who did say that, who started that rumor, I messaged him afterwards. I was like, hey, so that didn't happen. You know, I think you need to, like, clarify that a bit. I don't know. Maybe it got back to him. I don't know. Big Dan, Little Dan. Yeah, Heavy Metal Entertainment's still around, too. Definitely great stuff. Looney Tunes, you gonna do more videos on industrial music? Well, at some point, I'd like to do one on Godflesh. The new Godflesh album came out the other day. I know that they're having manufacturing delays in the United States for those who want it on CD, but there's a guy in North Carolina, in Winston-Salem. His eBay page is called Mad Rush Media. He had a few copies of the new Godflesh CD, and he might still have some. So, if you want it, there you go. Go get it. I haven't listened to it yet, but as soon as this stream is over, I'm going to listen to the new Queens of the Stone Age album. I've been looking forward to that shit. And while we are talking about things that sort of upset me, why don't we talk about this new CD tower that I got? So, the CD tower that you've seen in my music collection videos, I pretty much maxed it out. So, I went on Amazon. Same listing. But once I got it, I didn't notice this until I put it together, but it was a different brand and different make altogether. You know what? Let's do this. I'm going to take you on a trip. We're going on an adventure. So this is the new CD tower that I got off Amazon, okay? Now you'll notice, this is the good one, that's the bad one. I don't know if you can notice it on video, but this one is a little smaller, and the holes are spaced weird.
You see how the holes are kind of constant on this, so it makes it easier to adjust in case you wanted to adjust for Blu-rays or DVDs or video games or whatever the fuck. But this is spaced weird. It's mainly spaced for DVDs and shit. And the packaging is flimsy. No, sorry. The material's flimsy as hell, and there's a lip. Like, I bet you didn't even know there was a DVD behind this one. Did you? Yeah, so, oh, what's behind here? Yeah. Well, nothing right here, but... Let's see. The Dark Knight trilogy. What's behind the Dark Knight trilogy? Oh, the crow? Oh, I didn't know that. See, I hate that shit. This one doesn't have a lip. Now, I'd already thrown the box away, unfortunately, so I was like, well, fuck, that means I can't send it back, right? Well, I messed with the seller because, you know, I had a right to. They sent me something different than what I paid for. You know, they listed a pre-packed CD tower, but this was a Venture Horizon tower, which sucks. So I messaged the seller, and not only are they allowing me to return it, but they're going to send me a box to return it in. Good. That means that the next one I buy, I'm going to make sure that's the pre-pack one. So life is too short to be spending $200 on CD towers and for them not to be what they're advertised to be. You just use shelves for yours, Yorkai. Yeah, that's good, but when you have over 1,000 CDs like I do, you run out of places to put shelves. And what's amazing about these CD towers is in the grand scheme of things, they don't really take up that much space. You know, they're like 19 inches each side, and that's it. You know, but if you put them on wall shelves, they take up your entire goddamn wall. Could you cut out the lip with a saw? Man, I'm not going to do that. I'd mess it up even more knowing me. But we're talking about Portland. Metal Media, what type of record player do I have? I have a Newmark TTX. It's a direct drive turntable, which does sound better than belt driven. And I don't care who says otherwise, this one sounds amazing. Oh, but you hear noise with direct drive. Fucking people. Anyway, we're talking about Portland. So, this Agalloch reunion show, it got me thinking, what can I visit in my very short time in Portland? See, on the second Agalloch album, on the cover, this is a photograph of a statue that's in the middle of Portland, okay? It's called the Thompson Elk statue. It was erected in 1900, and it's a statue commemorating the mayor of Portland around the time. That statue has seen some shit. It's been vandalized over the years by Occupy Portland, and then people who were protesting in 2016 who weren't happy with the election results, they vandalized the statue again. Because, you know, that's going to fix the election, right? And then, a couple of years ago, the fucking statue got destroyed by Antifa. Yeah, they were protesting, and the protesters fucking spray painted the statue, I guess. And then the city of Portland swooped in and was like, whoa, 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 shit, let's save the statue. Well, they saved the statue part of it, but the statue was attached to a fountain base. And because of COVID regulations, they wouldn't allow water in the city fountains. So, a bunch of idiots set fire to the fucking fountain base and caused a lot of damage to it. So, yeah, the bronze statue was taken to a warehouse for safekeeping. And here we are, in 2023, all these years later, the statue is still not back in its original place. And ever since the 2020 riots, people have been asking, oh, when's the statue going to come back? When's the statue going to come back? It's a symbol of Portland. And, you know, last year they said, oh yeah, we're going to try to put the statue back. And I actually emailed the city of Portland to ask if the statue was going to be back by the time the Agalloch show happens. Because a lot of people are going to want to visit the statue. A lot of Agalloch fans. This is a big day for them. They're going to want to see as much Agalloch-related landmarks as possible. And I actually got a reply. They said, oh yeah, we're proposing a budget of $1.5 million to restore the statue because we're also trying to, I don't know, repave the street around it to make it safer. Man. Because nothing says we hate racist cops like destroying shit that has nothing to do with racist cops. Seriously, this innocent little deer. Well, actually, it's an elk, but who gives a fuck? Its only crime was it had antlers. It didn't kill any black people. It just stood proudly in the heart of Portland. Its only crime was it had antlers. His name was Thompson Elk statue. Fuck you, rioters, and fuck everyone who defends you. This is why we can't have nice things. I got balls. But I suppose that there are some band photos that have been taken in different parts of Portland that I can go visit, I suppose. You know, the picture of them leaning on the little fence, I suppose, in the booklet. That black and white picture. Kevin Hampton. Downtown Portland is not the same as it used to be, unfortunately. Well, I mean, every time I go visit a major city, somebody's always saying, oh, well, you be careful, you watch out, it's so dangerous. There's a lot of crime and a lot of poverty and a lot of drugs and a lot of homeless people. And a lot of people have been telling me that about Portland lately. But the thing is, they also have told me that many times over the years about Philadelphia, New York, Chicago, and especially New Orleans for some reason. And I find that, for the most part, it's coming from people who have either never been to these cities, or it's from people who've only been there for maybe a couple days and they had a couple weird experiences because they're from small towns, so they're not used to big city life. But, you know, when I was a kid, I went to Philadelphia every summer, so I'm used to city stuff. You know, I've driven through Philly. I'm fine with it. I have never once felt unsafe in New Orleans. I guess it helps that I only really walked through the nice parts of it, but you know, if you're coming from a small town and you don't have much city experience, then of course you're going to be like, oh, well, yeah, it's unsafe over there. But you know what? I'm going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to have a lot of fun in Portland. The Airbnb that I'm going to stay at is going to be walking distance to the venue, so I'm not going to spend a fortune on Ubers. The food I'm looking forward to, and I'm looking forward to that crisp Portland air, that mountain air. You know what I mean? It's like the smell of pine, I suppose. On the way back, I'm going to have a layover in Denver, another place I've never been. And I know somebody in Denver, so we're probably going to hang out. That's going to be nice, kill some time. Who says that online friendships aren't real? Hi, Kat. How you doing? Metal Media. Hey, Tony, you ever been to Illinois? Been to Chicago twice. Love that city. Love the pizza. Love the zoo. And love Silver Surfer's giant testicle. Watch my latest video. Guilty of being a statue. I see nobody in the comments is laughing at my rant that was designed to be funny. Some of you probably couldn't tell how real that was, but it got me a little fired up. Oh, did any of you see that Ministry is going to re-record With Sympathy? I just saw it on the news about an hour ago. Al's like, oh yeah, why be owned by the album when we can re-own it? You know, we can re-record it to be less synth pop and more arena rock. Okay. Suppose you could. I mean, I don't see the point. It is what it is, you know, it's part of your heritage. And there are some people who unironically like that album. Kevin Hampton, you probably don't have enough time, but the Coffin Club in Portland has a lot of industrial bands and DJs. And I heard that it's open every night. So I'll probably go that Friday night and then crash hard and then do something Saturday, the day of the show, and then fly out Sunday morning, which, man, it's what I hate about some of these trips like that is usually there's not enough time. Like, if you want to travel on a budget, you know, sometimes there just isn't enough time to explore the city. But I feel like for the purposes of this trip, it's as much time as I need. Cosmic Pallbearer. Re-recordings are a general waste of time. Ministry re-recorded Every Day is Halloween acoustic a few years ago, and it actually sounds really good. Tasmanian Metal. Hey, how do you feel about Slam? More specifically, Devourment. Devourment's pretty good. I like that stuff. Thoughts on the Morbid Devastation re-recording? If it makes them happy, I mean, it's not going to match the charm of the original. I mean, part of the charm of the original is that the guitars are out of tune. I mean, that's what made that album unique. You know, it's not sounding like everybody else. Okay, so what else? What else can we talk about? We can talk about some other rarities. Lords of Acid is in the studio at the moment recording their upcoming album. And so, yeah, they announced on some social media page that they are selling the keys to Pragacon's synthesizer that was used on the Farstucker and Our Little Secret albums. So, I happen to get one. Love this album. There's Praga. Praise the Lords. Do Tony. I collect a lot of musical curios like this, so you know, it's just to be among the things that are weird that I own. And this thing's dirty, too. And you know, with their lifestyle, you know that those guys were partying. He was probably drinking and smoking like crazy when he fucking played this. But hey, this key might have been used on some of my favorite songs like Sex Bomb and Rover Come Over and Stripper and You Belong to Me. I don't know. Well, here I am, baby doll, a free man. Dragon DG, are you in a band, Tony? No, but I do record on my own. Hey, have you thought about doing a collab with Become the Night? I would love to do so. I've probably mentioned it to him at least once or twice, and he's a cool dude. I like watching stuff. Excellent stuff. Zoofagus, I'm late to the live stream. Hey, welcome. Welcome here. Tasmanian Metal. What's your opinion on Two Hunters by Wolves in the Throne Room? Anything Wolves in the Throne Room is fine by me. But why don't we talk about the new guitar I got? You probably saw this on my Instagram, but I just got this back from the shop today because I had a bunch of upgrades done to it. This is the Harley Benton JA-baritone. I've been wanting a baritone guitar for many years. I saw Paul Barker play one back in 2016, and I asked him about it because the gauge of his strings were pretty thick, so I was like, wait, is that a 6-string bass or is that a guitar? And he explained it. Oh, yeah, it's more like a baritone guitar, you know, because in the 1960s, Fender made a bass called the Fender Bass 6, VI, and, yeah, it's it's what they use in a lot of beach music. But yeah, did a bunch of upgrades to it. And what I like about it, hear those notes ring pretty loud? It's not even plugged in. And I can hit all these lower tunings that I'm not able to hit on the BC Rich. This is tuned to C at the moment, so I've been playing a lot of Queens of the Stone Age, and Sleep, and Caius, and I'm even coming up with my own, like, doom metal riffs, too. You know, and that's the cool thing about getting new instruments is they inspire you to come up with new cool shit, you know? So good. That may become a new Killbot song. We shall see. It's got me in the mood to do some Swallow the Sun type songs, you know what I mean? So, this is the Harley Benton JA-baritone. I bought this in early April. It wasn't even in stock yet. They said it was going to be in stock in the middle of May. And so many people bought it, I guess, that they delayed it. And they said it was going to be available in June. Well, last week of May, they shipped it. I was so excited, couldn't put it down. It needed lower action, so I had the action lowered and set up. Put some new strings on it, some Diodarios, 14s through 68s. And the tuners sucked. They were cheap plastic tuners that actually kind of hurt my fingers, so I put some Wilkinsons on them. Some people like the locking tuners. I think they're kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest with you. And it balances nice. Sits perfectly still. Excellent. I love the color scheme. I love the little stripe on the back. I love the block inlays. And I put some new pickups on them because the pickups that it came with, P90s, those pickups sucked. I guess they were, wired weird or something because they sounded real scratchy. I put some tone riders in them. And I still have the box over here, so... Got Tone Rider Hot 90s. These actually were the original pickups that were in there, and I can kind of tell why it was scratchy because I look at the wiring and it's a little... It looks like it's not connected very well. But the Hot 90s. This was $130 for the set. The bridge and the neck. $130 will get you a single EMG. And honestly, pickups, if you've watched Glenn Fricker's channel for long enough, you realize that pickups, when you're playing metal, it doesn't really make a difference how much you spend on pickups because once you turn the gain up loud enough, it's all going to sound very similar. And whatever differences there are, they're minor enough that they can be solved with an EQ. Honestly, you should probably be playing with an EQ pedal anyway, because I think that sweetens the sound a little more precisely than just dialing in your amplifier, you know what I mean? But yeah, those old pickups sounded very scratchy. Haven't heard a single fucking lick of noise on these. I'm excited. But yeah, Tune to C got me in the mood to play some Caius. And some Sleep. Because my amp, it has a it has a phaser setting on it, so I've been able to do some psychedelic sleep sounding stuff. You know what? Fuck it. Let's play some baritone guitars were also used in Rock Lobster. We were at a party. Was a Rock Lobster. Why does he sound like that? Have any of you heard the mashup with Rock Lobster and Raining Blood by Slayer? It's hilarious. Ocean in the ocean. It's hilarious. But, yeah, and then of course you can play the Twin Peaks theme, and if you're tuned to A, you can play some Realm of Chaos era Bolt Thrower, you can play some Dystopia, yeah! In C tuning, I believe that Immolation uses C tuning, and so does Incantation, but I'm not as familiar with Incantation as I am Immolation. What else? Sleep. I saw that a few years ago. Awesome show. It was sold out. Probably one of the loudest shows I've ever been to. Because all those amps that they play, that wall of amps, they all have speakers. They are all live. Some bands, they bring a wall of amps just for decoration, and only one of them's got speakers in them. No. Sleep, all those amps have speakers in them. Just total blast of volume. And I was in the front row. Even got a set list. So good. Okay. Dragon DG, how long have you grown your hair out for already, and how do you maintain it? I've been growing it since I was 14. I'm 27 now. I wash my hair once a week. I use Aussie shampoo and conditioner. I also use Apogee protein treatment between shampoo and conditioning. I use a pick in the morning, starting from the bottom and working my way up. And before I exercise, I like to spray with dry shampoo. We got this right here. And what we do is we part the hair at the roots and we spritz a little bit in the roots. And that helps keep your hair from sweating so much when you exercise. It's especially useful as it is really hot over here in North Carolina. So there you go. Greg Kelly. Matt Pike doesn't believe in dummy amps. No, he doesn't. And there was an interview he did a few years ago where he was talking about his guitar setup, and he was explaining it like he was on steroids or something. He was just like, just smiling the whole time, had that crazy look in his eye. I need to see that again. That was good. But, Captain A, what do you think is one essential death metal band that is helpful for getting people into death metal? Trying to get your girlfriend into it. Well, I mean, Obituary, you can't go wrong with the first two Obituaries. You can't go wrong with the first two Deicides. The first death metal album I ever heard was Autopsy, Mental Funeral. So, that set me on a good path. Even with its weird production. If anything, it intrigued me. So, yeah. I'd never heard an album like it. And to this day, still haven't heard an album like it. And the reason why that album sounds like that, this is in the Peaceville book. The reason it sounds like that is because they mixed it, and before they EQ'd it, Chris Reifert was in the studio. He was like, no, it sounds raw and fine as it is. Don't put any EQ on any of the tracks. Just leave it. And the engineer looked at him like he was crazy. He was like, that's not typically how we make albums, but it's your album, it's your failure. And then it came out, and the death metal world fell in love with it. So there you go. Bro, I love your energy, and you definitely don't seem 27. Hey, no drinking, no smoking, no drugs, lots of exercise. And a voix de vivre, a joy of life. Yo, I want to see the world. I want to do fun things. I want to meet people. I want to do cool shit. You know, that's a good philosophy. Metal Media. A stream with just Tony jamming would be cool. I'd be able to do that with drums, and I might be able to do that with bass, but guitar playing, I gotta practice a little bit first. Like, drums, I'm more of a natural player. Guitar, I gotta rehearse a little more. Like, drumming, I can play for hours at a time. I prefer drums, you know? I like hitting things. You know, nice thing about drums, you're completely in control of the volume of your instrument. Bow, 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 bow! And then with bass, I like bass more than guitar because there's a little more variation in ways to play it. And also, bass, it's as easy and as difficult as you want to make it. You know, a lot of people say that bass is just for the shitty guitar players, but you know, you can make it as simple as you want or as hard as you want, as long as it's the backbone of the band, a solid backbone. Because, you know, you need a good rhythm section. If you don't have a good rhythm section, your whole song is going to fall apart. You know, Ozzy said it. He was talking about the early Black Sabbath albums. People in the beginning were like, oh, well, it doesn't have that much melody. Well, it doesn't need much melody when you have a strong enough back end. And when the guitars are doing the same thing that the bass are doing, in Black Sabbath's case, you know, you have bow, bow, da, da, bow, bow, da, 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 bow, da, da, bow, da, 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 da. You know, when you have the whole band doing that, and there's no over it, you know, that makes it sound more crushing and more frontal. You know, don't worry so much about what's missing from the elements of your music. Just worry about whether it's hitting your ears correctly, okay? I want maple cookies. Laura, bring me some maple cookies. Hi, Laura. Just in case she's watching this. Let's see. Captain A, got any tips for learning drums? I mean, just play what you know and then progress from there. The first song I ever played on drums was Welcome to the Jungle. And then I heard Terrorizer World Downfall, and it made me want to learn how to blast beat. So, yeah. You can thank Pete Sandoval for making me a better drummer. Dragon DG. I aspire to be like you, but I'm Balkan, so the drinking part and the exercising will be a little hard. I'm making fun of my own race. I mean, you have to be responsible for your own health. You know, I was 30 pounds overweight for a few years, and I felt like shit, I slept like shit, I looked like shit. And everybody was nice enough to let me know it in the comments. Thank you, people. And, yeah, so lost 30 pounds and never gained a pound of it back, and admittedly, I do feel better, you know? But you have to lose weight for the right reasons. You gotta lose weight because you want to lose weight, and you want to get healthy, and not because a bunch of assholes that you never met are being like, but, you know, it's a good habit to be in. I also take some vitamins. I take a multivitamin, and I've started taking magnesium lately because the past few days I've been kind of sleeping like hell, so there you go. Tony, you look really great in all honesty. Aw. Thank you. Okay, started streaming 65 minutes ago. Alright, we're still having a great live stream, aren't we? Yeah, hopefully you guys watch that new video. I want to have a couple of other videos out by this month because I have a couple strips that I've been sitting on. And I want to do some skit videos again, so there you go. I want to have a good month for the month of June. Because it's possible that I will be going to New Orleans around Halloween. That's a trip that I highly look forward to. For many reasons. So, there's the Portland trip. There's the New Orleans trip around Halloween that I haven't even started planning yet. And it's a tiny bit possible I may be going to Boston in August. But I don't know. Nothing's really been followed up on that yet. Anyway. Okay, may as well plug some merch while we're at it, because this is a live stream, after all, where we talk about the greatest metal YouTube channel of all time, that is Killbot and Gorgor Attack. We have patches. $6.66 a piece. They are embroidered. Free shipping anywhere in the world. You can buy them on my Bandcamp page, or you can message me on any of my social media pages if you have PayPal. You can buy it directly. I also have stickers, $2 a piece. Really nice. So be sure to check those out. And pretty soon I should be having a new shirt design, if they'll ever finish it. And yeah, that'll be pretty cool. You know, I haven't had a new shirt design in 4 years, so it's about time I get one. Dragon says, my phone is dying. Have to go. Love the live stream. Love your channel. Stay brutal. Thank you so much. Grind on. Brett Burnside, how did you come up with the name Killbot? I wanted a channel name that had a ring to it. Killbot is a ghoul character, and Gorgor is a Gwar character. I'm a giant fan of both ghoul and Gwar, so yeah, had to do that. My dad doesn't believe in online buying, so I can't get the merch. Well, that's when you have to go to the store, buy yourself a gift card, and then use the gift card. There you go. Let's see, some fun things that I bought lately. Since we have run out of topics on the notepad, I'm just going to go by your comments and show you some of the things I've been getting lately. So, Alien Sex Fiend box sets. This one right here was pretty easy. I think I got this off of Import CDs. It's 4 albums. Really good stuff. First 4 albums they ever did. It's unique. I like it. The album Acid Bath's really good. This one, however, was a bitch and a half to find. This is the second volume, and all copies I find on the internet, eBay, Discogs, they cost an arm and a leg. Okay, they're like $45, $70, $90. Well, I found this one on Amazon about a month ago. I bought it on May 7th. It was $30 on Amazon in the UK. They said that the estimated arrival date would be between June 11th and June 21st. I thought, well, I mean, if they ship it right away, it'll be here before then because UK packages don't take long to get here. Yeah, they didn't ship it until June 2nd. I don't know what the holdup was, but they didn't ship it till then. It showed up a few days ago, and thankfully, it showed up in one piece. No damages, no scuffs, nothing. I'm extremely happy to have it. It was worth the wait. This sucker was hard to find. What else did I get lately? Been getting some Primus. Been getting some... What else is here? What else is here? We've got Guns N' Roses. We've got Kiss. We got Megadeth. Yeah. Shit, maybe I'll do another CD video next year. I don't know. You guys seem to like this year's, so I don't know. I just don't like doing vinyl and CD updates like a lot of channels do because personally, I find those videos to be boring. I mean, not disparaging anybody who makes them or anybody who likes to watch them. I just find them boring to make and boring to watch. So, you know, I thought my CD collection video was going to be boring for you guys to watch, and then you guys surprised me. You enjoyed it. So, I'll see what I can do. Greg Kelly, gotta take that zinc supplement and omega-3s. They may be part of the multivitamin I take. Do you like the flaming lips? They're okay. Napino says, do you have a preference on what bands you expose yourself to? Just good, artistic, different sounding bands that push boundaries. Like The Resonance. And Carcass. Yeah. Good shit. Like, I look for extreme stuff. I look for intense stuff. I look for original stuff. I look for stuff that has a soul. And it's not necessarily skill that I'm looking for as much as good songwriting. I mean, think about it. Mr. Brownstone. In the first 30 seconds, you have, I don't know, 3 different riffs, different layers of things going on. It's just a well-structured song altogether. _ Hey Killbot, since you're an industrial fan, do you like Static? Never heard of them. Oh, but we're talking about industrial stuff. May as well talk about some darkwave stuff. Let me tell you about a recent acquisition I got that was also a bitch and a half to find. Alright, where's the F's? G... F. Okay. Alright, folks. This is the Frozen Autumn. This is their 3rd album, Emotional Screening Device. This is the limited leather book that only 1,000 copies were made. This fucker was aggravating to find. And expensive. I was trying to collect all their CDs, and this was the hardest one to find. I was like, okay, so what's... Well, I had the idea to message their record label and see if they had any left. I didn't care what edition, just let me see if they have any available. Because sometimes it's cheaper and easier to just go to the record label website. I go to the record label website, they hadn't updated it since 2019. So I didn't have any good feelings. But I found the email address on there. I sent them an email. A few days later, I got a message back. Okay, so yeah, we're in Italy, so shipping's going to be really expensive on this. Well, actually it wasn't that bad. Took a while to get here, but here it is, leather book edition. It's a pretty tall CD, actually, in comparison with a regular CD. There's the size. So this came out in 2002, and this has been sitting for decades. It's been sitting so long that actually the pages were stuck together when I took it out. So it sort of unstuck here. And the guy was like, oh, sorry about that. Hey, don't be sorry. It's brand new. Yeah, I'm glad that I could buy this from you. And the Frozen Autumn is talking about reissuing a lot of their old catalog on CD. What I want is for the new album to be on CD, because that's the only one they don't have on CD yet. It's on vinyl, but fuck vinyl. I hate vinyl. It's a pain in the ass to collect it. Such a delight. Just join the chat. So what's the next concert you're going to see? I know that Toxic Holocaust is playing in late July, so I may go to see that, but if I don't go to that... Oh yeah, Tori Amos is playing on the 26th. Still on the fence about that one. Was gonna go see Nick Cave in Durham, but he's playing the night before I'm supposed to go to see... Oh, he's playing the night before I leave for Portland. So I don't know if I should just skip that one to save my sleep, or if I should go and just tough it out. I don't know. I love Nick Cave. I want to see him, but... Oh, a friend of mine told me that VMV Nation is playing Durham, and it's on the same night that I'm going to be in Portland, so fuck. Oh well. Napino, thought about making an updated Brim tour. I don't know. Let's see, Queens of the Stone Age is playing on August 15th. Always wanted to see them. But, yeah. Okay, so we started streaming 75 minutes ago. I think maybe I should wrap this up in the next few minutes, because I want to hear the new Queens of the Stone Age album. So, if anybody has any questions, concerns, comments, now would be the time to speak, or forever hold your peace. What's in the solo cup? Just water. I had Mountain Dew earlier today, so not gonna get any more. I want to try to sleep well tonight. See if I can turn my phone off. Metal Media, I have a question. How was your day? It was lovely. Tiny bit stressful, but quite lovely. Nothing that a little exercise won't solve. No more sugar. No more sugar for the rest of the night. Underscore, how do you like Static X? They're fine. I mean, I'll listen to them. It's just not something I'm going to put in regular rotation. Such a like, Guns N' Roses is coming to upstate New York in September. Do you think they're worth spending $200 to see? Well, that's really a question only you can answer. For a big show like that, I'm okay with buying lawn tickets. You know, some people are like, ew, lawn tickets. They're fine. You're still seeing the band. You know, I don't have to have pit tickets for shows. But to be honest with you, Axel, he sounds like shit now. I wouldn't bother, but on the other hand, Guns N' Roses, they're legends. So go for it if you want. I don't care. Bob Stover, you can hear the instruments well on vinyl. Yeah, the sound quality's pretty nice, but, you know, when you have vinyl, in order to get its full capabilities, you have to be sitting right in front of the speakers. And I prefer to move around a bit when I listen to music, so I'm always on walks, I'm always sitting on the swing, I'm always walking around, I'm always doing stuff when I'm listening to music, so headphones. There you go. Kevin Hampton, are you into Fear Factory? I have a couple of their albums on my laptop, I just haven't listened to them. Some of those industrial bands, I listen to them and they just make me want to listen to Ministry. Like Rob Zombie, everybody's like, oh, Rob Zombie, White Zombie, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they're good, but, you know, whenever I listen to White Zombie, it just makes me want to listen to Ministry. Ministry has ruined so many bands for me. The Patriarch. Guns N' Roses is a big risk. Axl might walk away from the stage not finishing the entire performance. From what I understand, and this is secondhand information, he knows that he burned a lot of bridges by being tardy and not showing up to the shows in the 90s. So apparently, in his contract now, for every minute he's not on the stage, he's fined $1,000. That's secondhand information, so I'm not sure how accurate that is, but I'm sure that's the only way that he can sell tickets now and promote a tour. I don't know, I haven't really heard a lot of negative things about it in the past few years. Now, Morrissey, on the other hand, he still cancels shows and walks off stage early and shows up late. Anyway. Alright, 78 minutes. We want to keep this short and sweet and rewatchable because that's the point of these live streams, is I want to keep them as rewatchable as possible for people who haven't participated in these. So, yeah. Thank you all for joining in. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for watching the videos. Be sure to watch the latest video called Traveling for Shows. And for those who want merch, I have t-shirts, I have hoodies. You can get them on my Amazon page. There will be a link in the description. We have stickers, $2 a piece. we have patches, $6.66 a piece, free shipping anywhere in the world. So, be sure to check that stuff out, subscribe, check out my Patreon, check out my social media pages. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. So, thank you all for joining in, and grind on.